New legal trouble for the president, and if it seems like we've said that almost every day this week, it's because, well, we have. Here's a quick reminder of everything that's gone down. On Tuesday, within minutes of each other, the president's former personal attorney, Michael Cohen, pleaded guilty, and the president's former campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, was convicted. On Thursday, news broke that Trump's close friend and head of the National Enquirer, David Pecker, got immunity for information on payments to cover up alleged affairs and other bad news. And earlier today, we learned Trump's longtime financial officer of the Trump Organization, Alan Weisselberg, also got immunity for his cooperation. So as the walls close in on the president, the word impeachment is on the tip of more and more tongues, even the president's.
I don't know how you can impeach somebody who's done a great job. I'll tell you what, if I ever got impeached, I think the market would crash.
All right, we've already gone through that. That's not a reasonable conclusion. But joining me now is Tom Steyer, a man who's been publicly calling for the president's impeachment for nearly a year now and gathering signatures to get that done. He's the founder and president of NextGen America. I'm also joined by Roland Martin, my old friend and the host of the upcoming podcast, hashtag Roland Martin Unfiltered. I must say I've never actually seen what Roland Martin Filtered would look like. Tom, let's start with you. Look, you and I have been talking about this a lot. Has something changed in your world of an attempt to convince people that Donald Trump needs to be impeached in the last week?
Well, Ali, we've seen evidence of this president's lawlessness for a long time. What changed this week was the evidence was certified by the American court system. We had his campaign chairman be convicted of 8 felony counts, and we had his longtime personal lawyer plead out to 8 felony counts and implicate the president in 2 of those felony crimes. So it's not that the news is new, because we've seen lawlessness from this president on virtually a daily basis. But what is new is the courts are saying you can take this to the bank. It absolutely happened.
So, Roland, there are a lot of Democrats in Congress and Democratic leaders who don't go as far as Tom does. For whatever reason, they're cautious about having conversations around impeachment, and maybe some of them are hoping that in November, in the midterms, the Democrats will take the House, and that in 2020, Donald Trump will be thrown out of office or not elected again. What's your take on whether or not people should be focusing on impeachment?
Well, it's a slow build. I mean, what immediately came to mind for me is a late football announcer, Keith Jackson. Whoa, Nellie! Because it's one after the other. And see, every time Trump lies, I've been using the hashtag Trump Lies Matter since the election. And so now what we have is not just, well, Cohen has said something in an interview or Rudy Giuliani said something on television and then Trump lying in the tweet. Now we have someone standing before a court saying, yes, I was directed to do this. And so then we play the tape. Trump on Air Force One saying, oh, no, I didn't know anything about it. And then he talks to Fox News. Well, I knew about it later on, but then I pay out of my own money, as if that's a totally different deal. And so every time he opens his mouth, he is simply making it easier. And so that's really what is going on here. And so you do reach a point where even not necessarily your staunchest supporters, where people go, look, man, you're making it hard for me to keep defending you if you keep lying and you get busted lying with tapes and with evidence.
Yeah. Tom, let me ask you this. Do you find it frustrating that when you speak to Democrats in office and others, they're not on this ride yet?
Well, Ali, who I really speak to is actual American voters. I actually don't spend any of my time talking to elected officials. Actually, what we're doing is collecting signatures from American citizens, and I've been on a 30-city town hall tour of America talking to voters about this president and this administration. So what I really see is a very dramatic break between American citizens and the Washington establishment.
So that's a problem, right, Tom? Because you were at an event, I think, in the last 2 weeks where there were there were senators and other people up there, and they weren't sort of latching on to your idea that the work to be done is to get the president impeached.
Well, I do read the papers, Ali, and I can see the Washington establishment en masse saying, we don't want to talk about this president's lawlessness. We don't want to talk about the corruption that is so much a part of his life and his administration. But I don't think we can deal with the real issues facing Americans until we get rid of a dramatically reckless, dangerous, and lawless president and get on with our lives.
Ali, what this is doing and what Tom is doing, forget the folks in D.C., okay? Because they're going to always be cautious. And that's why my deal is their messaging does not matter. It's what happens in individual congressional districts. What is happening here are you're seeing Americans who are saying integrity matters. Mm-hmm. Okay, at some point, it can't be, well, that's just Trump being Trump. No, when you constantly lie every single day. Now you have media folks who have finally started to actually say, this is a lie, calling those things out. He chastises the media for holding him accountable. At some point, people of conscience go, this is not how I want a president to behave, a president to act. And then again, when he says one thing, and here's the tape. Here's what you said. Here's this. Now you have Cohen. Now you have the CFO. Now you're going to have David Pecker. When you start seeing folks get immunity deals, that's a whole different deal than I got interviewed. And so that's, I think, what Tom is doing is forcing people to say, return to a nation where the president has integrity. Obama, 8 years, 0 indictments, 0 convictions. Nearly 2 years of Trump. How many indictments? How many convictions? Case closed.
All right, we'll leave it there, guys. Thanks very much. Tom, good to see you as always. Tom Steyer is the president and co-founder of NextGen America, a leading force behind efforts to impeach Donald Trump. Roland Martin is the host of the upcoming podcast, Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Yeah, unfiltered.
Can't say that without smiling.
Oh, unfiltered.
If anybody's ever seen Roland Martin Unfiltered, please tweet me.
Yes, I can cuss. I'm just kidding.